doing here? We're taking the crown. Jack and Sam talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here?
Hey, yo, we are back. It has been a week and a day. Nick, it has been too long. How are you
Way
been?
too long, bro. I'm good, man. You?
I'm good. I'm here. I have had it with the West Coast start times. I am no longer watching 10 p.m. tip-offs until Tuesday. I said I'm coming out here. I'm going to go and see it myself. That way I don't have to wait till 10 p.m. So here I am at 6:30 Pacific time, sitting here in the Chase Center, which is a bizarre-looking arena from the inside. It's the first time I've ever been in a gym that isn't built for hockey. So, like, it just all converges on the court. It's so weird. But cool place. Very, very new. Everything's very, like, up-to-date, state-of-the-art type stuff. So I'm excited to be here. Jack will be with us soon for those that are missing him. We had KP and Al Horford pregame in the locker room for a little bit. So KP took his time. We had to eat. Jack's got a little work to do, but he should be here at some point.
Yeah, man. It kind of looks like you're in a is it like a movie theater
It
type
looks
of
like
vibe?
it.
It looks like
This
it's
is the first time I've looked like I'm not a ghost on the pregame. Usually I'm in the garden and the light is right on my face and I just look like a ghost. But today I look just like normal pasty, not abnormally ghastly.
But no, it looks cool though. It looks cool. So yeah, I'm excited to see Al Horford and KP against the Celtics. I feel like this KP thing kind of ramped up pretty quickly because I didn't expect him to play in this game. I guess like if you asked me like a week or two ago, but Steve Kerr came out and said that he looked good in practice and he's playing. So yeah, super excited to see him just in healthy in general. I think it was Kaminga and Buddy Hill who they traded for him, and he's an expiring contract. But if you think of like him in theory, a guy that can shoot the ball, that can score at all three levels, that can block shots, that can pass. He's a guy that can help them. But of course, no Steph Curry in this game. So that definitely takes a little bit out of it. But you got the antics of Draymond and the debut of Porzy. So we'll just have to see. But I'm just glad to have basketball back after those. That was a long week, bro. That was a long week. It was like kind of refreshing to not have to, be on all the time, but like I just miss basketball. So I wish this definitely started earlier, but yeah, I just miss basketball.
Yeah, and like not only was there no basketball, but people didn't know what to do with themselves. They just spent the week throwing a rock at each other, being like, I think they're going to be bad when Jason Tatum comes back. And then the other people are like, I think you're stupid and you shouldn't watch basketball. And then you had the people that are like, tanking is the worst thing ever and they need to do something about it. And Adam Silver is all of a sudden taking all this action because he's been humiliated by the tanking teams when, in my opinion, the reality is like you cannot get good in this league anymore without having a high draft pick. Whether you're fortunate enough to have fleeced a dumb team and gotten their high draft pick, or you have to go and get one yourself, that is the only way to build a foundation in today's league with the way the CBA works.
Yeah, you have to get you have to have players on rookie scale contracts to be contributors. Like that's just how you're gonna win. Like I'm not like the Celtics didn't tank. Like this isn't like a team that tanks, but like Tatum and there was also a rule in that was like if you make the conference finals, you can't pick in the top four. Now these aren't the actual, you know what I'm saying, but these were things that were like floated around in there, and I really hope that just means if like that's your own pick, which I don't know how that would happen if you make the ECF. So from my point of view, it was like So, okay, we're doing this to penalize tanking, right? But a team that just made the conference finals, which is a team that wins, we're penalizing them too. And it's just like if a GM trades for a pick that ends up in the top 4 and they just somehow make the conference finals, what does that have to do with tanking? Like, they made a good move as a GM. What I don't Al, are you saying that now? Of course, if the Thunder make the conference finals, I definitely don't want them to have a top 4 pick. Like, of course, right? I would want it to go to a team that actually needs it. But if the GM makes a good move and trades for a pick that ends up in the top 4, that's not tanking. They made a great move. And it was a lot of those in the thing that I didn't really. Oh, the one that I had such a problem with is lottery odds. They freeze at the trade deadline or like a later time, bro. That would just mean teams would tank from game 1 and not what the Jazz do, which is we play 25 games as a team, and then game 40 we're just like, all right, fourth quarters we're not gonna really play. Like, it's just gonna start earlier. That's all it's gonna do. So I don't know if there's a Teflon way to get rid of tanking, but all of the things that I saw that were floated, just I'm not really sure of. So
every single one of the propositions from the NBA today was bad. Like, every part of that list was just upsetting, disappointing. Unless I may have missed one, but for the most part, Jack has arrived.
I'm gonna go set up. Hello.
Little tease for later in the show for those of you that came for Jack. What you mentioned about the late playoff teams not being able to get top picks, the first thing I thought of was is that towards the Pacers who had Halliburton get hurt and then they've just kind of punted this season away, simultaneously just getting injured. Not only did they kind of take a step back roster-wise, then everyone got hurt right away, and now they've just kind of caved and been we're not going to be good. But the point you make, if a team trades for a pick, they should be able to get it. They should earn it. They earned that pick.
Right.
And by the actions being taken, that team should be more deserving of the pick than the tanking teams. You don't want the teams that are losing on purpose and are bad to tank and get a good draft pick, but you don't want the good teams to get a good draft pick. And then there was part of the proposition that was hey, we may extend the lottery to all of the play-in teams, not just the ones that lose. So then you would have legitimate conversation of, okay, if you are in that range, wouldn't you rather just lose games at the end of the season so you are 7 instead of 6 and you get in the lottery? And then, as a result of that, the top 2 seeds that get to play play-in teams may end up getting to play better teams early because those teams just said, we would rather be in the play-in lottery and still have a chance at the playoffs. That is the best of both worlds. You're saving the Chicago Bulls, kind of, in this
play-in thing.
Well, yeah, the Heat, the Hawks, all those teams will be your top position guys every year. The whole thing's a mess. And like you mentioned, to have a contending team, you have to make the most of your rookie contracts. Not only that, you cannot get star players unless you draft or trade for them. If you have a star player, in most cases, you drafted that guy. You gave him a rookie extension. You signed him to a Supermax extension. Guys are staying where they've gotten drafted in terms of signing contracts at the very least, because if they sign somewhere else, they get less money. Now, if you're not trying to tank, why would you not try and get a high pick? That's the only way that you can lock down somebody for a long time. Or you can trade for somebody. The only way you can trade for somebody is if you have either a ton of draft picks or enough promising young pieces that entice the team that you have drafted. So this league is built for tanking.
Everything's for the draft. Everything's for the draft.
Because there's no more free agency, the only way to do it is the draft. I wrote 1,600 words about this on my flight here from Boston yesterday because I was just how is the entire All-Star Weekend discourse about tanking? And the reality is you have to do it. You either get lucky like the Celtics or you make a good trade. I wouldn't even say lucky, but they're fortunate that Brooklyn was so bad that they couldn't get out of their own way, Like, they had no choice. It's. I don't know what rule change you can make, because the answer will always be, no matter how broad or how short you make the lottery, teams are going to try to get into that no matter what. And at this point, like, that's just what this game is.
Yeah, like anyway, there's gonna. Hey, what's up, Jack?
Hello, what's
Good.
up, everybody? Sorry, I'm late.
No, you good, bro. It's just anyway, bro. Like somebody's gonna find a loot. You guys just drunk at the same time. That was cool. But everything that you find, teams are like, and it also like depends on the strength of the draft class, right? So no matter what the rule is, if there's a victor in that draft, teams are going to do whatever they need to do to tank. And also, how many teams are tanking? The Jazz.
The Jazz, who have the best reason ever to tank,
right?
By the way,
top 8, and bro, I think one of the floateds were like, okay, picks are can only be top 4 protected, or like or past 14 or something. Like, bro, if the picks are top 4 protected, that means they're gonna tank harder, because it's a slimmer chance for them to get the pick. Like, what are we talking about? Here's
what's bad about all of this. The NFL season ends right before the All-Star break. So the people that don't pay attention to this league until their favorite sport is over come in, they're met with the All-Star game is awful and everything about it sucks this quarter, even though the game this year was better. But going into it, all we can talk about is how bad it is. And then you have Utah like almost like inventing this new way to tank and lose games on purpose. And that's all they're hearing about. So then they're like, man, this is why nobody likes this league, because teams are losing on purpose. And it's just like, I don't know, man, that's part of the game. Like, the Sixers did it, and they were like, we're doing it on purpose. And everybody that was a Sixers fan was like, this is awesome. We're tanking. Like, we can root for our team to lose. And that is just part of being an NBA fan now, unless your team is good.
Were there any of the ideas that you guys liked? Sorry if I'm bringing up questions that were already answered in my lateness, but were any of the things that were mentioned in this whole meeting thing, like you're like, oh, that could work?
I have to go back and look at
Silver's list was pretty bad.
Okay, yeah, please look at this. Because Shams had a whole list of things that were supposedly floated in that.
As you look,
I got it. So
okay, go ahead.
I have it. These are some ideas. This is the Shams tweet. Flatten lottery odds for all teams. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams, I should say. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making the conference finals. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. Lottery odds freeze at the deadline or a later date. First round picks can only be projected top 4. The one I do like is the one the WNBA does. I don't hate the lottery odds based on 2-year records. It at least makes it a little harder to tank, right? I mean, then you could just say, oh, we're going to tank for 2 years now. But like that, at that point, it's like a real knock to your franchise, right? Like it's real like F you to the fans.
Yeah, the only thing that like makes me not like that one particularly, but like everything you said is valid. But like if a team gets smoked like the Pacers, 1 win away from the finals, their best guy tears their Achilles, they lose him for the entire next season. They're going to get next to no compensation for that because it's a 2-year thing. And like, honestly, that might be necessary.
They shouldn't get compensation for that. I'm sorry, like it sucks. But
I kind of see that.
That's not really fair. Like,
like the league doesn't owe them anything, but like it is nice. Like when Jason Tatum got hurt for us, it was like, well, maybe they'll get a good pick. Like, yeah, I had a month of being like, what if they got agent?
It's nice for them, but it's bad for all the teams who are actually in need of that thing.
Yeah,
right?
I agree
it's like
with
the
that.
Sixers jumping up to top 3. They didn't need that. Sixers didn't need VJ Edgecombe. The Wizards.
They might
VJ.
low key have needed it, but
No, they didn't.
Not as much as the Wizards.
The Wizards needed it. The Nets needed a top 5 pick more than any franchise in the history of the
point.
NBA.
Yeah, that's the point.
All right.
I'm sorry, it sucks.
No, you guys are making good points.
It's just like it sucks for them, and don't get me but they don't need this.
Yeah, that's the only positive I see with the teams that go to the conference finals, can't pick in the top 4. I hope that does not include trade. Right, it's a pace. I hope that does not include trades, because then you're just like penalizing.
There's no way it can.
There's no way it can. But I'm just like, okay, so if it's not including trades and it's only the pick that you have, right? If you just made the conference finals, then it can't include your pick because you just made the conference finals. You're not going to be in the lottery. So I don't know what that can entail if it's not.
I think it means for the next year. Like if you're the Pacers and this happened to you,
like
2027 draft?
No. Like, okay, the Pacers made the finals last year.
Right.
The rule would mean this year they cannot get a top 4 pick.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I got you. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, and I agree with Jack. It's like, yes, they got ravaged by injuries and stuff, but like they don't need a top 3 pick. They just need their guy to come back. They traded for a guy that they love, and yeah, like if Tatum, if the Celtics somehow were not this great, Tatum is out for the entire year, and the Celtics got the number 1 pick. That's great for us, but that is terrible for the rest of the league.
Bad for basketball.
That is bad for basketball. That is phenomenal for us. It's like, it's over. It's really over. But why do we deserve a top pick and the Nets don't? Like that makes no sense. Now, the only team that's bad that does not deserve a pick is the Kings. Other than that, that's just Kings.
It defeats the purpose of the draft. Like that sort of thing defeats the purpose of the draft.
And then so like they switched the lottery odds like 3 years ago, and again it's been teams that have not been at the bottom. So it's been the Hawks, the Mavericks, the Spurs were number 2 last year. The top 3 last year were all teams that did not need to be in the fucking top 3. It was the Mavericks, the Spurs, and the 76ers. Why do the Nets not get a top 3 pick? The Wizards don't get a top. So if that wasn't decentralizing teams to not tank, what will?
I think them making the lottery more flat, where it's not so much at the top that you're going to get almost guaranteed a top 3 pick. I think they should mitigate it, but it doesn't.
I think only the bottom 6 teams should get in the lottery.
I think they should shrink the lottery. 7, 8, yes, they should just shrink the lottery.
Shrink the lottery. That's the only way to solve it. Because then, like you said, Nick, like those teams didn't need the picks. The point of the NBA draft is to keep the league balanced, is to give the teams who are in need of talent more talent in the future. The current way they do things to decentivize tanking is destroying that process and forcing teams to tank for longer. If the Nets or whoever it is had been able to get a Cooper Flag or been able to get a Wemby or had been able to get one of these top stars, they wouldn't be tanking anymore. The Pistons aren't tanking anymore because they got a number 1 pick, because the lottery worked. Cade Cunningham is the pivot point for the entire organization. Like that's the point of the draft. That is the point of the draft. Not the Mavericks fumbling the bag, not the Spurs lucking into a pick, not the Sixers being granted this so they can continue being good for longer. That just means the Nets have to tank for 5 more years. So the Jazz have to tank for 5. Like that's not the point.
The only positive to that for the crowd that's like this decentralizes it is, okay, if I'm the Jazz and I don't get a top pick for 4 years, okay, finally I'll say, all right, man, I'll trade for Jaren, right? If I'm this other team, like, all right, man, I've been trashed for 5 years and I haven't gotten in. I've only gotten into the top 3 one time. Okay, I guess I'll trade for Trae
I
Young.
do not.
I guess I'll trade for AD. Like,
Well, I don't have Nick on my end. I can see Jack. So if we're all sitting here in silence waiting for each other to talk,
Am I lagging?
talking.
Nick?
no, he's lagging. Yeah. So, but again, to your point, by that time that they are
It's
like,
probably
okay,
like,
fine.
what are these two dumbasses doing?
Wait, what's happening? Wait, what is happening?
I'm trying to tell him.
We were both lagging at the same time. We were both trying to figure out what was going on. Oh, it's just me?
It's just you,
Okay.
brother.
That's on me. I ruined the show.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, but again, just like you said, it's gonna take that team 3 years of not getting a pick to then say, okay, I'll trade. But they sucked for 3 years because they didn't get the pick. And you know, I think shrinking the lottery, it won't decentivize tanking because of course the teams who want to be bad are going to be bad, but it also helps them get what they need so they don't tank for 3 years.
Exactly.
So if there's only 6 teams in that lottery, right? It's most likely it should be the 6 teams that actually need it. Now, it's not ever going to be the Teflon, like it's not going to be perfect, right?
They should do that with the 2-year odds, with the 2-year records thing.
Okay, yeah.
That way
okay.
it's not Philly or Indy or one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's it.
And that also takes out a team like the Pacers. Like, okay, he's hurt, but next year we're going to be good because he's back. We traded for people. So with the 2-year thing, that's a more scope of the actual team. It's not just, oh, we had this year where we weren't good because of injury and stuff. So, yeah, I really hope, because I didn't see shrink the lottery in there. But I hope there's a combination of the best ones. Some of those were just like nothing to me, but you can also make any recipient of a top 4 pick ineligible for another top 4 pick for 3 seasons. But I think that only works for the Mavericks, the Spurs. Well, not the Mavericks too, but like if the Spurs get like they got Harper, yeah, I think they're cool with not being in the top 4 for the next 3 years.
But then,
like, if you're the Nets, a top 4 pick, like if they're Tim Duncan, like okay, cool. But if they're just a normal,
you're the Kings who take Marvin Bagley.
If they're but like if you're the Kings and you get Cam, right? I don't think that means they should be out of the top 4 for 3 years. Like, I think Cam is great, but it's gonna take more than Cam to turn around the fucking Kings. So like, unless it's just they trade everything to help Cam, okay, cool. So I don't hate that I don't hate that idea, but it's like if we're going to give the lottery to the teams that need the lottery, maybe it should be like 2 years or 3 years. I don't know, but I don't know. There's just a lot going around.
Yeah, there are a lot of like new avenues here I wasn't even really considering, like the good teams kind of taking away from the bad teams. But like, you make a good point. Like sometimes they just can't get out of each other's way, their own way. Like sometimes the Kings are just gonna look and be like, don't really want Luka. Like we're good. We'll take Marvin, or like, I'm sure they've had another one recently where you're just like, we have Halliburton, we'll trade him away. Like, I don't really know. It is tough because it feels like there's an answer for every point you could make. But
yeah, for sure. It's nothing's Teflon. Nothing is like foolproof. But there is ways to lower tanking, but you're not gonna take away tanking unless there isn't a draft anymore. Like if the draft class is strong enough, if there's a guy at the top or top 3, teams are going to tank. That's just how it is. So It doesn't matter what you do. If a team is like, hey, that guy at Kansas can do it for our team, they're going to tank. It just is what it is. So I don't know how you do it. There are ways to lower it and like minimize it, but to take away tanking is just not a thing that you can do unless you take away the fucking draft.
Yeah, and I mean, just to like bring it full circle, like there is so much value in getting one of those guys. It will change your team if you do it right, and there is no other way to get a team-changing player in the NBA without good draft capital, whether it is guys you already picked or the ones you have in the chamber. Free agency does not exist anymore. Thank you, Kevin Durant. Thank you, LeBron, for making them incentivize guys not to leave their teams.
And then also like restricted free agency is like it's nothing anymore. Like restricted free agency is nothing. It's a scam. Like I remember when DeAndre Ayton signed with the Pacers, and like it was obvious. Now, of course, if I'm the Suns, of course, I'm not gonna just let him go. But like he didn't want to be there. The coach didn't want him there. So, but again, I understand. If I'm the Suns, I'm not gonna just let him. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But even this offseason, like there are players that are playing on qualifying offers that, even though I don't think they should be max contract guys, like they should get like 10 to 15-ish, but it's like restricted free agency is so like botched now. You're never good. I'm not going to say you're never, but very rarely are you going to see a team take a restricted player from a team, because it's just not how it works anymore. So there's
Why would you let him walk? You can keep him and then trade him.
Yeah,
you can get Kristaps Porzingis.
When's the last time a restricted free agent was let walk?
I was just thinking of it. Like they just win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like a smaller,
like think about how much the Warriors hated Kuminga, and they were like, "We're not letting you."
And they still signed him. Like
they're like, "We're willing to let you eat all our food, or your family take all the food. Still, we're going to bring you back, but we're just going to trade."
Colin Sexton was a sign and trade to Utah. He was a restricted free agent, got signed and traded.
That's how it goes. It's a sign and trade. Grant Williams.
Grant Williams. Aiden signed the Indy offer sheets.
And then they kept them.
So, granted, this is Google's AI, right? However, I'm seeing 2012 and 2009, Landry Fields and Kyle Lowry. But I'm going to take a look.
Yeah, because Kyle Lowry was with the Rockets, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry's with the Rockets, and then they signed. So, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. I'm just glad we got Pascal back to actually focus on that stuff. And like Adam Silver, man, I really hope that stuff about him only being like really like hooked on this anti-tanking thing because of the gambling companies and shit. I really hope that's not his top like motivator in this, because that would just suck as a fan, bro. Because like I don't think tanking is, again, there's only about 3 or 4 teams that's actually tanking. It's not even a third of our league that's tanking. So I don't think it's that big of a problem to where we have to do anti-tanking shit, right? So if it's just because of the betting companies, bro, that's a horrible look. I can't tell anybody not to follow where the cash is, but like it was
also just be smarter. Don't be dumb. Don't bet on the Jazz. Don't be an idiot.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. If you know the Jazz,
if you did bet on the Jazz the other day, you would have won,
bro. This has been their thing for the past 2 to 3 years. They play the first 35 games as a regular team. They're like, oh my god, hey, the Jazz are pretty solid. and then they tank off. So any person with common sense is not going to put player props on them at this time of the year because this is what they have done. So I don't know. It's crazy. And somebody get upset at Dalen Terry because he didn't hit a player prop. Dude, why are you betting on Dalen Terry? He doesn't even play that much. So I'm sorry, Jack. You about to say?
No, I was just saying we can wrap up. We got 60 seconds till tip off, and I feel like it's a good time to get on out of here.
Good to see everyone again. We're back. Here's Joe. Everyone subscribe to Nick. Jack and I will be here in the morning with a game recap for the first time forever. That's it for us. Bye.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your